What's good, baby? So today we're going to be talking about my trade on MES. So we got a win today, and let's just have a quick breakdown of how that went. So first of all, let's talk about what are we looking at here. So 9:30, that's the open of the session. I'll always mark it with a thin red line just for my eyes. We have 9:45, that's when we start trading from. That is when we start seeking positions from, and it gives us a bit of time to build up a range. Obviously, 15 minutes is more than adequate for the Goyim to decide what they want to do. We have 10 o'clock because that's when the news is. You want to always pay attention to when the news is because otherwise you're going to get bummed. You're going to want to also check on Forex Factory if you've got like a red folder, if you've got like a bank holiday. Bank holidays we don't trade, yellow folders, whatever, you get the deal. And 10:10, that's when we stop trading. We don't look for anything past 10:10 because otherwise you're in a lower probability zone. We want to capitalize on the macro as best that we can. That's when delivery is the best. That's when price has already decided what it wants to do and wants to sort of move towards the target. So that gives us about 25 minutes of actual trading time. That's in between these two. And obviously, you're going to say that, like, oh, that's not a very long time, but I like to take positions for 3 hours and stare at the chart because I'm a fucking stupid goyim. But we don't do that. We take 25 minutes, we grab what we need to grab, we get on with our day because less is more in an industry like this. You really don't want to be sitting on the charts for like 3 hours straight. Just that's just not what you do. I used to do it. Everyone used to do it. You used to do it. Everyone did. It's a sort of a canon event for people like you and people like me. And some people actually never manage to escape that because they're brain dead. Right. So let's have a look at what we did then. We have a clear break above the high at 45. That is beautiful. That is perfect setup. And we haven't touched equilibrium after like before 45. It wouldn't matter if we did because we already made a new high at 45. So what we're just waiting for is we're just waiting for price to pull back into 45, which we do very shortly after. We make a new high. So we just expand the range just a tiny little bit because you always got to know where the exact center is. And then we pull back into the perfect equilibrium. Uh, Before it even hit equilibrium, I had two positions set up. I had a stop market and I had a buy limit, and I keep them down here. And what I'll do is I'll calculate how big it's estimated to be, the amount of contracts needed. So I'll always take from the red line. The red line marks where I'll put my stop loss or roundabouts to the equilibrium point, which is the orange line. So that's 45, and we have a formula for that. I keep a calculator on hand always. And that calculator, what I do with that is there's a maths formula that I use for finding out what the risk should be. Uh, and it goes like this. So 1 point with MES is worth $1.25. So what you got to factor in is that every single point is like $1.25 times 45. So if we do that, so we do 1.25 times 45, we get 56.25. And then you take what you want your risk to be. I risk about 200 a trade, so I'll put 200 divided by 56.25. 3.5. So then you get the amount of cons that you need, right? So I need 3.5 cons for it to be sort of like an adequate risk. For this to be 200 risk the moment that it hits, and then I can obviously set up my position. So I'll put two orders, both for like about four cons I think I use because I don't want to go too low with like 3.5. And then I'll set my limit order up over here. Obviously, I don't put it exactly on because if it was exactly on the orange line, then I only get like 1.6. If I've done the math, yeah, 1.64. So I'll tighten the stop loss a little bit, just trim it off, coin clipping a bit, and then target a tiny bit beyond the take profit entry, a little bit before the equilibrium, shave the stop loss a little bit, and what do you have? You've clipped an extra 0.4 R, which is quite a lot to some people. It's quite a lot to all people. It scales with how much you're investing. An extra 0.4 R is quite a lot. some of your losers are taking that as your take profit. If you're a giant pussy, you're taking it at with a negative ratio. I'm not judging you out loud. Um, so then I'll put my stock market order there when we hit it, obviously. And then what I do is I close my laptop, right? Because you cannot get manipulated by a woman that you can't see, that you can't hear, and that you also don't give a fuck about, right? So how are you going to get manipulated by the markets if you're not watching it, if you don't care what he's doing, if you ain't got a clue what he's doing? It's either you hit take profit or you hit stop loss, and that's it. Trade management is a myth, and I'll tell you why. Because the markets will do anything that they can to sort of shake you out, to make you take less, to make you close in a minus, to make you add more, like whatever. It's don't do it, man. Just literally close the laptop. Don't come back for the next 2 hours, right? Don't check anything. You either take a stop loss or you take a take profit. You don't break even that shit, right? Break evening is that's Goyim propaganda. You don't do that because you've come into a day, you've worked, you've found your position, and you're gonna walk away with zero. It don't make sense, right? Be a man, walk away with mm, negative, negative. Walk away with minus money, right? Walk away with a zero because walk away with -1,000, whatever you're risking, right? Don't break even because break even in especially with positions that are like so small, such as 2R, you're gonna feel like an idiot at the end of it. Okay, so we obviously just fly straight to take profit. It doesn't do that always. Sometimes it will consolidate around here, eventually dump. Sometimes it will consolidate and then it will hit stop loss. So what, bro? It's like at least you follow the rules. So we made about 400 off this, a little bit less actually, minus commissions and things. And that is that for today's trade. And I will be back tomorrow and we're going to do the exact same thing again. Whether it be a win or a loss, I don't care, bro. We're going to keep repeating the same thing again and again, again. Because we have a very good track record out of a 212 trades, I believe. It's actually more now. Out of 212 trades, we have about a 50 4% win rate around abouts with a 1.8 R average on taking positions. Uh, so that's almost 2 R basically. And obviously you can filter out some stops as well. This is open. That scared the life out of me. Uh, you can obviously filter out some positions and things. But this is like when you're trading purely mechanically. So mechanical is obviously what's best because it's you don't got to think, which is great because most of you aren't very good at it. Uh, so yeah, there's that, and that is the whole day done. And I will see you tomorrow, and we will talk about this again tomorrow. We will continue elaborating upon this, and I wish you a good night and candles out.